I think, like UConn is, if you let that one get away from you, then it just isn't a game, right? If it's that beginning, and that's what they do so well. But, Michigan, watching their film, I watched that live, and then watching Ohio State, Michigan. Obviously, I haven't watched USC yet. Michigan just stayed the course, and they were able to fight back, right, at the end of it. So I think the key is really you have to stay in the moments. I know it sounds cliche, but I mean, they can turn you over so fast, UConn, that if you don't stay in that next play, it's going to happen and happen and happen and happen. They're just going to turn you over, turn you over, turn you over. So regardless of what that play is, a good or a bad, with a team like UConn that is so fast and I think just so, I mean, man, they're almost flawless on every aspect of the game. There's no time to get too high or certainly low. And I guess that feeling is what you would have at a Hilton, or we're going to need to have it at another great home court advantage. Indiana, they have had sellouts. That Mo can go against you real fast, but this is just on steroids when you play UConn. Just because there's typically no one you can really sag off on. You really can't have a reprieve when someone gets subbed. So that, I think it'd be nice to have a good start. The teams that have fared, well, they've had a good start for a half, but then they've had a good start and they still get, blown out in the second. But I just think you've got to stay in that moment, or they just stack the tough ones on you.
So it doesn't sound like you see a huge difference between playing them in Barclays versus playing them in Stores.
Well, if I had to pick, I'll pick Barclays. But I just think, there's a reason Gino and staff are where they've been for so long. We could play that outside, and that's not going to affect how they go about their business. And I think everybody that studies UConn, I mean, there's just a respect level, and we're all trying to get to that level of consistency, and they're just when you play them at Stores, which we have a couple times, it's just it's like, I'm just proud of our home court advantage. When good things happen and our crowd roar, it's like a wave. It's like a sea of that support with you. And that's what's helped us. And, I'd like to think we've, done a good job in some areas of trying to build this thing and make it pretty daunting here. That's just what Connecticut is. And he just is able to attract McDonald's All-Americans and the best in the world. One of those kids that comes off the bench is sensational, truly the best in the world. So it is a little mini WNBA team. But it's, highest of respect to continue to do it and to keep that culture. He loses a few every now and then, but pretty much you go to UConn, you know what you're getting into. And that's what I try to do here. When you're coming, I don't know if you're going to be that star. I don't know if you're going to be the one. But if you want to be a part of it, I'd sure love to have you. And I really respect that about Gino and Chris and staff. They get really good people, and they're the best at what they do, and they're able to keep them in a team mindset that's really admirable.